What's up, everybody? It's Joey G. Little special edition. Wasn't really planning on doing a show today. Bad day in wrestling. Bad day all around, but bad day in wrestling. Joanie Lawler, China, as you all know, has passed away at the age of 45. Looks like an overdose. I don't even know of what yet. I just found out about 3 hours ago. I went to the mall today shopping. I was coming home and my grandma knows I'm on the wrestling and everything, and she said, China died. I said, wow. That was China was, wow, 1 in a million. I mean, China, the ninth wonder of the world. I mean, and I really do, it's just a shame. You know what I mean? I bet you Triple H has got to feel like shit. Stephanie's got to feel like shit. I don't know if Stephanie even, but God knows, only God knows her soul. But Triple H has got to feel like shit. And Triple H does have a heart. You've seen him when Owen Hart died, how bad he cried, when Eddie died. You know what I mean? He's a very emotional dude, Hunter, Paul Levesque. And it's just a shame him and China couldn't have patched things up. China had a great career, and I just want to go over it real quick. She was just one of them. I mean, Shawn and Hunter had to fight to get her in because it wasn't working. If you ever noticed, Triple H can never get over by himself. That's why people say that he's the greatest wrestler of all time. No, he's not. No, he couldn't touch Brett. He couldn't touch Shawn. He's good. He's great, Triple H, but he's not one of the greatest of all time. He's not. He could wrestle, but to sell, he always needed somebody with him. And this is about Joanie Lawler. This is about China. But if you remember, they always had to put somebody with Triple H, and finally, when they put China with Triple H, before that, who'd they have with Triple H? They had Mr. Hughes with them, Curtis Hughes, the black dude who used to stole the Undertaker's urn back in the day. He was with them for a cup of coffee in early '97. They had Perfect with them in late '96 when they did that swerve with Mark Merrow with the IC title on Raw. And then China, and then that didn't work. Perfect left, you know what I mean, and ended up in WCW 6 months later. But China showed up one day. Big lady, she was in the stands and kept putting the camera on her. I remember it was like February of '97. And then I remember Triple H fighting Goldust and her taking Marlena and throwing Marlena around like she was a friggin' Barbie doll. I thought it was a mannequin. I remember looking at Marlena. I was like, damn, who is this? And she would just be kicking dudes' asses. And this is when I really started to be like, yo, this Hunter Hearst Helmsley, because I never really liked him. I knew he was, friends with Shawn and Kevin, all them. But I never really was I was never into that, that snob gimmick. And I knew he used to be the French cornball in WCW. So, but I liked China. I liked her. I thought she was cool. I mean, she was slamming dudes. She was doing it raw. You know what I mean? She was, no pun intended, she was just, killing dudes. Made it, great. And then finally, they got Shawn and Hunter together and her and Ravishing Rick, and that was a perfect DX. I mean, with her, she just, made it. I mean, she would just great. The time they would punk Michael Cole out, and China would push him, and China would wedgie him, and then China got her boobs done, and Shawn was, with going like that, looking down, and the double D, and it was great. It was great. She was a big part of DX. China was. And then, and I remember her wrestling and her saying, this is jumping ahead a little bit. I remember her wrestling and her just saying on a show, there's no competition for me. And I remember Sable being there, and was Sable there. I think Sable was there. Lita was there. It was Sable, Lita, and somebody else. I forget who else. It was Sable and Lita, and Sable said something, and then China, Sable's a bitch, you know what I mean? She said something, and China said something right back to her. And this is when China was, I don't think she was on drugs. She wasn't high. This was like 2000. Yeah, it was like the beginning of 2000. And she was just telling them both. No, it was 99. It was 1999. Yeah, because China left in 2000, or Sable left in 2000. It was 99. Beginning of 99, and they were just sitting around a thing, and China was like, I'll crush, there's no competition, I'll crush all these women, like she said on Raw that time, and there was no competition for China. There wasn't. I remember WCW tried to do it, no disrespect to Jackie, who just got inducted into the Hall of Fame, Jacqueline, but I remember she was with Kevin Sullivan, and they tried to make her look like China too. She was slamming dudes on Nitro, but she wasn't like China. China was 1 in a million. They actually made it to a point when China, when they first showed her, she was like, she looked like a dude. Then, I mean, this is February 97. Then you fast forward to like October 97, and she don't look half bad. And then you go all the way to 2000, summer of 2000, she's with Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat. I mean, and that was a great storyline. You know, but the sad thing was that was her and Triple H were a couple. You know what I mean? And the wrestling business is nasty. I mean, it's just it's a stab, you know, stabbing your. I mean, it's very, very, and I hear from a lot of people, very hard to find a true friend, and especially to be in a relationship with a female in that business. You know what I mean? To have a, you know, an intimate relationship, it would be very hard. I mean, ask Chris Candido's dead, but look at Chris Candido and Sonny. It usually doesn't work out that good. Missy Hyatt and Eddie Gilbert. I mean, it doesn't work out that good. Macho Man and Elizabeth, and then Elizabeth and Luger. You know what I mean? It doesn't work out that good. Like Kevin Nash said, I don't want to bring my wife on the Titanic. You know what I mean? I don't want to bring my wife on the ship. Like, but I mean, it was sad because Triple H kind of treated her like shit. I mean, he got into that storyline with Stephanie, and basically he was banging Stephanie for a year, and China had no clue in it. She was in that storyline with Eddie Guerrero. She wasn't having sex with Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero had a wife, Vicky, and kids. It was a storyline. You know, and China just, I mean, I'm sure she had to know. I mean, Triple H is, you know, on the jet and everything flying around, and then he's, you know, he just left her in the room, I heard one time, and never came back for her. I mean, really treated her like shit. And then just recently, I don't know if she was doing, I mean, I know she had her problems with drugs. She did porn. I mean, but now, as recently, right before she died, you know, she was, I think, trying to get back in the wrestling because she had nothing left. I mean, everything else, she couldn't do porn anymore. I mean, she's 45 years old. I mean, she couldn't do that anymore. You know what I mean? She, you know, everything she did, I mean, all she had left was her character on WWE China. That's all she had left. And the shame, you know, her kind of making of an ass out of herself, going to Roddy Piper's funeral, and, you know, saying her and Roddy Piper were good friends, and only China, Joni, will know that, and Roddy, they're both gone now. You know what I mean? I never remember China and Roddy being on the same roster with any company together. I mean, I guess, you know, maybe Roddy was backstage, you know what I mean, at a WWE show sometime in 2000s after WCW closed. I don't know. You know what I mean? But she said that she was good friends with him. She tried to talk to Triple H. She was doing a documentary on her life. That's why Triple H, they said, didn't want to talk to her because maybe she was recording something. But she did try to reach out to him. And it's a shame that she does belong in the Hall of Fame. I mean, you got Coco, no offense to Coco Beware, but you got Coco Beware in the Hall of Fame, and China's not in the Hall of Fame. China was a driving force. I mean, she made Triple H. She did. She was the guy, for me at least, and I'm sure a lot, she was the guy that, she was the one that got me to turn around and say, oh, this dude's pretty cool. He got a female bodyguard. 1997, early 97, a female bodyguard who was jacked. She wasn't pretty or nothing, but then as time went on, you know Vince does things up. He got her pretty. He got her, you know, nice looking to the point where, you know, she wasn't half bad. It's a shame. It's a tragic story in wrestling on what happens. I mean, I wonder how Sean Waltman, you know, I mean, Sean Waltman's my man. You know what I mean? No problems at all for Sean Waltman. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. As a matter of fact, personality-wise, he's my favorite in the whole clique. You know what I mean? Shawn Michaels, the greatest wrestler of all time. I don't know him and Brett. I don't want to get into that situation. We'll dedicate a full show to that one time. Who's better, Shawn or Brett? I have my own opinion on that. But I wonder how Sean Waltman feels. I wonder how Shawn Michaels feels, too. I mean, these guys were all close. The Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. I mean, these guys were all close with China and DX. I mean, they were. I mean, Billy Gunn was close with her. I mean, I don't think they had, I don't know. You know what I mean? But they were close. You know, we know Sean Waltman went out with her. I mean, it was on the TV the one time when they 10, 15 years ago, and X-Pac showed up at the house, and they had Peter from the Brady Bunch, and the brat was banging bottles, and Joni was crying. And he was like, I want to talk to my girlfriend. Waltman was all effed up, you know what I mean, all drunk. And, you know, the brat was sitting there. I'll never forget the brat sitting there with 2 bottles. And X-Pac's like, are you mad at me? Are you going to hit me with them bottles? His eyes all red and shit. He probably just puffed an L before he got there. But, I mean, China was great. Joni was great. I mean, she was great, made a lot of money, made Vince McMahon a lot of money. It was a shitty way she got fired. I mean, we all know the story. Stephanie went to act all tough when China found the letter, and it was dated a year before it. I'm guessing this was in 2001 when she found it. You know what I mean? Because that's when she got let go. Was that summer? You know what I mean? So yeah, it was that summer, 2001. Because I remember at WrestleMania 17, 2001, she fought Ivory, and she had the purple thing on. She had the gun when she came out. And it's just a shame. You know, China, Joni Law, rest in peace. You're one of a kind, sweetie, you know. And my prayers and everything go out to her family. It's a shame. She is, you know, it's a shame that she didn't get in the Hall of Fame. I know she did that thing with TNA about 5-6 years ago, and she helped Kurt Angle, and she was scaring the shit out of Karen Jarrett, a.k.a. Karen Angle. You know what I mean? That was cool when Kurt Angle brought her into TNA. You know what I mean? Because Kurt Angle was friends with her. Mick Foley was friends with her. You know, I know Vince Russo is and I'm a Vince Russo fan. I'm a Vince Russo guy. I don't care what anybody says. You know what I mean? Vince Russo is the man. Vince Russo really liked her. You know, and I'm just hoping, you know, somebody talked to her and talked to her about the Lord, Jesus Christ. And, you know, and hopefully, you know, she's in a better place right now. You know, and somebody told her and she accepted Jesus in her heart and she's okay, you know. Not trying to get, you know, pressing any religious or nothing on. I'm no preacher or nothing. I'm just saying from my thoughts, you know, this was a tragic thing in the world of professional wrestling. And, you know, China was DX, you know what I mean? I love China. I used to look at her like, what chick, you know, when I used to hang around when I was younger. And, you know, we had a couple chicks we hung with. But, you know, like we'd try to get like the toughest chick. And, you know, she would stick up for us. She would like tell all the other girls like to respect us. You know what I mean? Like we'd always, like me and my friends would always try to find like what chick could we make China. You know what I mean? It was just young bullshit when we were younger. But rest in peace, Joni. Rest in peace. Also, Prince. What about Prince? I mean, death comes in threes. Who's going to be next? I mean, in the Hollywood. I mean, now, you know, I don't want to say wrestling, but Prince died. I mean, you know, rest in peace, Prince. You know what I mean? The man the artistly formerly known as Prince. Whatever he called, but Prince passed too. And that's a shame. I mean, everybody's, you know, people dropping, man. It's just, you never know. You never know. I mean, you can step outside your house and just, bang, just drop. You know what I mean? You never know when your heart's going to stop. But Joni, I know China. You know what I mean? I know it was an OD. I don't know of what yet. When I do know, I mean, I'll say it on my next show. Or, you know, you people will find out. You fans will find out before I do. But it's a shame. It's a shame about China. I mean, a great career. Former women's champion. I mean, just a great. She was the one in DX that stuck out. You know what I mean? She was the silent one, but she would beat this. When they used to bully Michael Cole and she would wedgie Michael Cole, it was great. I remember her kicking the shit out of Trish Stratus, Lita, and she just said, "There's no competition for me." And Sable tried to say she was on the juice, and she was like, "I'll break you in half right now, Sable." I mean, China was great. It was great. It's a shame that she didn't get in the Hall of Fame, but I think she will. Now I think this will weigh heavily on Triple H's back. And I do think next year, as a matter of fact, I'm going to even call it next year, she'll be inducted into the Hall of Fame because she's gone now. So now Triple H doesn't have to worry about her saying anything crazy or coming wasted. You know what I mean? But I'm interested to see what Triple H will say about this. Rest in peace, Joni Lawler. Great career, great girl. You made DX, sweetie. You'll be missed. This is Joey G. I'm out. Peace.